Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everybody to the webinar. I'm excited to be with you tonight. My name is Eric Johnson, creator and CEO of Teamzy. And tonight's topic is how to get started right with Teamzy to become a power hour boss. So we're going to have some fun tonight for sure. I'm going to take you through all the paces. I'll show you how to set up Teamzy. It's incredibly easy to do. I'll take you through how, the workflows on how to do a power hour so you can get all your income producing activity done in less than an hour a day and do it without coming across icky or salesy, right? Get the results that you want. And then at the end, we'll do a question and answer. So if you have questions that come up during the training this evening, or maybe you already came with questions, you can load those into the Q&A right there at the bottom of your screen, and I will start taking those questions at the end. Sound good? All right, let's dive right in. Let's see here. Probably helps if I actually open my presentation. All right, hold on while that loads up for a second. So do me a favor while I'm loading this up, throw up in the chat, are you using Teamzy already? Are you, just put in yes, if you're using Teamzy already in the chat so I can see who's already using it, kind of get an idea of who's on here. Let's see here. There it is. All right. Excellent. Cool. So we got a couple people in 1 weekend and love it. Awesome. Sort of. That's okay. That's honest. Hey, you know what? That's cool because you're here tonight. You're going to be into it after this. All right. So let me just I got a couple slides here to share with you before we dive in. So again, the topic is get started right with Teamzy, become a power hour boss. I want you guys to know we built this thing so you can get this all done in 1 hour or less. Okay. Once you get good at this, it'll take less than an hour. Okay, let me just introduce myself formally. I mentioned that I'm Eric, creator and CEO of Teamzy. My background is actually in not in direct sales, it's in business coaching. Business coaching and consulting. 20 years now, I've been helping people build their business based on building relationships. Okay, I fell into direct sales about 5 years ago by accident. Some of you guys know my story. I found some products that really helped me and inspired me. And I was excited about sharing them because of what they were doing for me. And when I took a look at the business model, I was kind of excited because I needed a side hustle at that time in my life. How many of you guys can relate to that? I needed something on the side. See, I had this amazing career and I loved my job. I loved my career. I was well respected. I earned good income, but I was stuck. I was just stuck. There was nowhere left for me to grow. We had gotten to a point, my wife and I, here's a shot of the family here. My wife and I, we've got 4 amazing kids. I mean, I was blessed beyond measure. The problem was I was just felt stuck. We weren't quite where we wanted to be financially. There was nowhere else for me to grow. We were upside down on our mortgage at the time. The house was worth less than we owed on it. So we couldn't move. I wanted a house with enough room for all of our kids. And it was just kind of difficult. The other piece of the puzzle was that I wasn't never seeing these beautiful people. I never saw my kids or my wife, barely. I was always working. I was always at work. And I realized that, oh my gosh, here I am stuck in my career. There's nowhere for me to grow career-wise, and I cannot figure out how I'm ever going to spend time with my family. And so I was very interested in creating something on the side. And I took a really good look at the network marketing opportunity, and I was excited about it. The challenge that I had was, oh my gosh, there's not enough hours in the day. How many of you guys can relate to that? I mean, when am I going to fit this in? And so I kind of did some planning and thinking, and I figured, if I could squeeze 1 hour a day into my business and be super focused during that hour, I think I could do this. And so I started looking for some tools to help me leverage that 1 hour a day. See, I knew that if I didn't have tools, I would waste that hour just trying to figure out what to do. So I wanted a system that would let me stay in touch with all of my contacts, know when to contact people, and know when not to. In other words, I don't want to have to think, just tell me who to connect with. I wanted to know what to say to people so that I could start conversations that were authentic. I was super worried about coming across as salesy, right? And my tendency was to stare at the screen for the entire hour trying to think of what to say. I wanted some help with just what do I say. Also, I needed a system that would allow me to follow up seamlessly so that nobody ever falls through the cracks. I mean, this is the biggest thing that happens is you lose people, you lose track of them, right? And the vast majority of people don't close right away. So you have to keep track of them for a long time. So I needed a system to help me do all this. I had 1 hour a day to do it. There was one more thing it needed to do. It had to be easy to use. Oh my gosh. How many of you guys hate complicated and confusing software platforms? That was me. So it had to be something that was simple enough that even I could use. And so I started looking everywhere high and low for it. And you guys know where the story's going. It did not exist. There was just nothing out there that helped with this. So I found a team of people smarter than me and we built it. That's kind of how Teamzy came to be, because I was like, hey, I'm ready to do this, but there was nothing there to support me. And so we released Teamzy. First I got it and then I released it 4 years ago, just 4 years ago in December. So it's a little bit more than 4 years now. In that time, we've had more than 100,000 network marketers use Teamzy. This blows my mind. Honestly, you guys, $200 Facebook ad to launch this business. And it has taken off through word of mouth, people falling in love with Teamzy, just telling everybody about it. Just to give you an idea of results, our active users in Teamzy are averaging 21 new customers and 9 recruits over 90 days. Okay, so that's the average users that are active in Teamzy. They're averaging 21 customers and 9 recruits over 90 days. Okay, so if you do what I'm going to show you tonight for the next 90 days, you can expect results like that. Pretty cool, right? Of course, I can't promise that result, but that's the average. So, you could be below or above average. Hopefully you'll be above. Oh, we'll save those action steps for the end of the call tonight. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into Teamzy. Where are you, Teamzy? Here we go. All right, so first off, as we're looking at this, a couple of you said you're using Teamzy. That's awesome. If you're not already using Teamzy, go to teamzy.com and start a free trial. It's free. We give it to you for 30 days, full access. We don't ask for your credit card or anything strange. We just want you to use Teamzy for 30 days. Honestly, you're going to fall in love with it if you actually use it. I also believe you're going to get great results in those first 30 days. It should be more than enough to continue on with the subscription to Teamzy after that. Okay. So go get your 30-day free trial started. All right. If you haven't done that, do that. And make sure that you've told your team members to do the same thing because it's free. Okay. So once you log into your free trial, it brings you into the setup wizard. That's where I am now. This is the first page of the setup wizard. This is designed for people like me who aren't super techie to help set up Teamzy. Okay. And it's pretty easy. So let's just follow through real quick on the prompts. So let's see here. You can subscribe to Facebook messages from us if you'd like to stay in touch that way. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do in Teamzy is set an income goal. What's your income goal? How much do you want to be earning a year from now? Okay, so what's the number? So you can see I've set my goal for $150,000 a year. Now look, to set your goal, you just slide this little ball. You can go up and you can go down. Now notice that as I move this, my daily connect numbers change. Higher the goal, the more activity I need to do each day. The lower the goal, the less activity. So let me just put it back to where it was. My goal was 150,000 a year. And so Teamzy will tell you exactly what you need to be doing daily to hit that goal in a year. So in my case, it's to connect with 9 prospects each day, 6 customers, and 4 distributors on my team. Does this make sense? 19 connects a day. And that's based on 5 days a week, just so you guys know. So I need to do that for a year. Pretty simple, right? Now, just really quick, and we'll talk about this in a second as I show you more, but when I say connect with, I don't mean, send some cheesy sales script. I mean, just connect. The goal is to make somebody's day, okay? Just to make somebody's day. I'll talk about that in a second, but I want you guys to get in the make someone's day mindset. It makes doing this so much fun and much, much more effective. So once you have the goal where you want it, click on continue. And then what happens is now Teamzy has set up this account to my goal. We'll see that in a second when we get to the dashboard. The next step is to get all your contacts into Teamzy, okay? These buttons are some tutorials on how to do it, some instructions, okay? But you're gonna get all your contacts into Teamzy, all in one place, okay? All in one place. No more looking for little sticky notes or pads of paper that you can't find or whatever, rifling through your phone trying to find something. You put all your contacts into Teamzy, your team, your customers, your Facebook friends, your Instagram followers, everything. Put them all in Teamzy, one place, organized. Not only will you always have access to it this way, because it's in your phone, right? You'll always have access to it. But even better, I'll show you in a second, Teamzy does something magical with those contacts so that nobody falls through the cracks, which is pretty cool. All right, so now we've got our Teamzy all set up. Let me give you a quick tour of this dashboard and we'll dive into a power hour. So look, I want you guys to see right here where it says today's activities. Now this little pink thing right here, when you're new, I'm gonna open that up for you. When you're new, this is all things to do to get set up and training and stuff to help you, okay? That will disappear when you're 100% set up, just so you guys know. Okay, so today's activities, here you go right here. See this part right here? Today's activities. These are the goals that we set. This is what I need to do today. Now, look, You only have today. You don't have tomorrow. Yesterday's gone, right? So you have to stay focused on what you need to do today. Yeah, I set a big goal, $150,000. Great. What do I need to do today? And that's what we do with Teamzy. We keep your focus small so you can build a business that's big. Make sense? Okay, so my goal today was to connect with 9 prospects. You can see that's right there. And you can see I've done 0 so far. This actually will tick up as I do activity, which is cool. It encourages me to keep going and complete my goal. And then my goal is to connect with 6 customers and 4 distributors. All right. Just real quick on this. If you've got no distributors, that's fine. You just add that 4 over to prospects. Okay. Same thing. If you've got no customers yet, add the 6 over to prospects too. You do all prospects in the beginning if you're brand new. No big deal. I've also got a goal over here of shares. See where it says shares? My goal is to do 3 a day. A share is when I'm sharing my products with somebody or I'm sharing my business opportunity with somebody. Okay. My goal is just to do that 3 times a day, even though I'm going to reach out and connect to 19 people. Okay. I'm going to share where I uncover some interest where it's appropriate. And then I've got a goal to add new people to Teamzy. Just, you want to be in the habit of always adding new people to your Teamzy. Okay. It keeps it fresh. It makes sure that you always have new relationships to build, creates, new momentum in the business. So those are my daily goals. Okay. And that's what I want to get done in my power hour. So let me show you how this works. Scroll down a little bit and you'll see the power hour module. This is what makes Teamzy really special. Okay. Teamzy is a CRM. That's a contact relationship management system. That's a mouthful, right? Some of you know what a CRM is. Some of you have never heard of it. Basically, it keeps track of all your contacts, all their contact information. It keeps a record of all your conversations, all that, right? All of that stored in Teamzy. There's a million software platforms that do the same thing. What Teamzy does differently is, besides doing that, it also creates this power hour workflow for you, okay? And it does it based on your income goal. So right here on the left side, let me just show you how this is set up. The left side are my 4 lists: my prospects, my customers, my distributors. That's my team, by the way. It might be called something else on your version of Teamzy. And my follow-ups. Okay. On the right-hand side is where I log the message, log the conversation as it's happening, so it's tracked. Okay. So everything is easy to do here. I don't have to look anybody up or think or plan. I just log in and start going. Okay. So let me show you how this works. I'm going to start with my prospects. And I just want to notice one more thing real quick on this. Notice that there's a little number next to everybody's name. When you're setting up Teamzy, let me go to the team page where the full database is. When you're setting up Teamzy, you're going to rank everybody on a 5-star scale. See the stars there? And you just click to rank them. You're going to rank them 5, 4, 3, 2, whatever stars. You guys know how 5-star system works. This is important because Teamzy uses that ranking to create your connect algorithm, so you don't have to think. Okay. So the more stars you give somebody, they come up first and they come back more often. They're on a different frequency, right? So for example, a 5-star person, they come back every 30 days. So when you log a connect with them, they're back on your list again 30 days later. Okay. If you give somebody 4 stars, they're back on your list again 60 days later. Okay. And if you give them 3 stars, they're back on the list 90 days later. Make sense? So you want to do that. And when you put people in Teamzy, they're all going to come in as 3 stars to start, which is fine. Most people will probably stay there. So what I want you to do when you're setting up is I want you to scroll your list and just look for your 5 and 4-star people. Okay. Your favorite people, and just rank them up higher so they show up first on the list. Okay. So once you've done that, you're ready to do your power hour. So let's do this together. We're going to start with prospects. The first person on my list is Jay. So I'm going to connect with Jay. Now, however you want to connect with people, whether it's Facebook Messenger, via Instagram DM, text message, whatever, you can log it in Teamzy. Now, I'm going to use Facebook Messenger because that's primarily how I talk to people. And I get really great response rates that way. So I'm just going to show you that way, okay? So I need to connect with Jay. She's first on my list. Oh my gosh, what am I going to say? How many of you guys struggle with that? What in the world will I say? How do I start this conversation? And I struggled with this for a long time before I kind of figured out how to do this. Okay. I figured out how to do this. The best thing to do is just break the ice. Okay. Just something short and sweet. And so what we did was, because people were demanding constantly, hey, Eric, these things roll off your tongue. Can you give us some scripts? So we built a scripts library into Teamzy. See right here where it says scripts? Let me just show you how to use this. I'm going to grab a script just to break the ice and connect with her. So let's go on scripts. I'm going to pick one for Facebook. The first one on the list, I'm just going to grab that one. Here's how it reads. It reads, hi, Jane. Just stopping by to say hello. How are you? Hope your day is awesome. So easy, so simple. Okay. So let me copy that script. Some of you have already used this script and you're like, I cannot believe that script works like it does. It works amazingly well. This is a classic example of what I call a make someone's day script. Okay. So funny because one of a business owner that I was consulting for, she calls them MSD connects. And it looks like some sort of strange drug, but she means make someone's day. Make someone's day, MSDs. So look, I pasted that in. Do you see that? Now I can just edit it a little bit. I get the name correct. Maybe put some emojis in here. I'm crazy for emojis, so I'm just gonna put, like a smiley face, maybe some. You get the idea, right? Just personalize it a little bit. Don't over edit this. Don't spend too much time on it. It's better just to get it out, but make sure you get the correct name in there and, just make sure it sounds like you. So look, I'm just going to copy this now that I have it just the way I want it. Copy it. And then I'm going to toggle over to Facebook, which I have open in another tab, and I'm going to send that message to Jay. Super easy. There she is. Let's send her the message. Okay. All right. So easy. Done. Do you see how easy that was? Okay, great. So that's sent. So now I finished logging it in Teamzy, what kind of activity it was. Okay, great. See where it says log connect, the big blue button, click that and it's done. So now look at this. I've got 1 done, 8 left. See this little blue circle starting to fill in? So the next person on my list is Nettie. What I'm going to do with Nettie is just use the same script. It's still on my clipboard. Just paste it in there and change the name. Okay. Because I already have my emojis, everything else is set up the way I want it. What I'll do again is I'll copy it, I'll toggle over to Facebook, send Nettie the message, okay, and then log it in Teamzy. Super quick and easy. Now, the first goal of your power hour is literally, guys, just getting these messages out. Just getting these little messages out, okay? Then I'll do the same thing with Claresta, and so on and so forth. You notice how this blue circle is filling in? So my goal is 9 on prospects. When I do 9 messages, that circle will be completed. It'll be all the way filled in. That's my visual cue that, okay, great. My prospect messages are done for today. Now I'm going to go to the next list, which is customers. Okay, and I'm going to start messaging customers. Now, just a quick tip on this. Some people may respond right away, and I don't want you to run off and have the back and forth conversation right now. Get all your outgoing messages done, and then you can have the conversations, just so you don't get sidetracked. Stay focused, okay? Let's focus on getting all these out. It won't take very many minutes. The next list are customers. And again, you do the same thing with customers. You can go to scripts to get some ideas of what to say. So I'm going to message Deborah, okay? And you'll notice when you read my scripts, oh my gosh, this is different than what I would normally send a customer. Like, for example, Jane, you're doing great. I'm proud of you. Congratulations on, right? Did they do something great? Cool. If it's product related, even better. Congratulations on losing weight. Congratulations on getting great results on your skin. Whatever it is, congratulate them. Congratulations on making a great decision to save money for your family. Whatever. Okay. I love this one too. Hi, John. How are you enjoying the products, whatever it is? Fill in the actual product name. How are you enjoying it? Please send me an update and let me know how I can be of help. These are great ways to check in with customers. Okay. One more example. Hi, Jane, just checking in to see if there's anything I can do to make your day. Is that pretty cool? So look, you copy the script the same way, paste it in, okay? Change the name to the correct name. Do emojis if you want to. And then once you're ready, you copy it, you go send it however you're going to send it, and then log it in Teamzy. Now, just real quick on this, you guys see how easy this is. Super easy, right? So I'm going to log it the same way. Now my pink circle's filling in. I'm going to keep going on customers, just reaching out and connecting until I complete my goal for the day, which is 6. Now, just real quick on this is important. I cannot emphasize. I guess I can emphasize. I cannot overemphasize how important it is to be in touch with your customers. Okay. If you have had people who trusted you enough to actually buy something from you, that is like solid gold, right? So many people are all caught up in like, oh, how can I meet 10 people on Instagram today? And they don't even message the people who they already know who have already sent money to them. Just stay in touch with your customers. Like, look, put them in Teamzy. It's so easy, right? It's so easy. Every day, there's just a few that you message. Okay. What happens is when you're in regular contact with your customers, you guys make sure you're taking notes. This is one to take down. If you're in regular contact with your customers, they will order more product and they will retain longer. Okay, they will order more product and they will retain longer. What do you have to do? Be in regular contact. Just be in regular contact. Okay, Teamzy makes it so easy. The other thing I would ask you is, how many of you have at least one customer that you're just like, oh my gosh, how do I like clone this person and get more customers like this? Do you guys have people like that? Where do you go find people like that? Have you thought about where to find more people like that person? I'm going to tell you, the best place to find a great customer is from a great customer. Okay? Because if you're in regular contact with people, building the relationship, being present with them, right? Then it's easy to ask them to introduce you to the people they're talking to. Because listen, I want you guys to understand something. Your customers are absolutely talking to friends and family about your products. That's what people do. If they're getting results or they're enjoying the process, they are talking about it. Okay? 82% of people say they make purchasing decisions based on the recommendation of a friend. Your customers are talking to their friends about your product. 82% of people make their buying decisions based on that recommendation. Okay? Are you getting introduced to them? So if you want to grow your business, if you want to get new customers and new prospects that could become distributors in your business, you need to be talking to your customers on a regular basis. And the ones that are really into it, you need to ask them to introduce you to the people they're talking to. Okay? Simple. Start by getting them in Teamzy and becoming consistent talking to them. All right. So once I've connected with all my prospects for the day, in my case, it was 9, all my customers for the day, in my case, it was 6. Now I'm going to toggle to my team and start connecting with my team, same way, just building rapport, just being present, building the relationship, right? By the way, this is why we call it Teamzy, because it's about building your team. Can't do much in this business without an awesome team. And the team relies on your personal connection. Your personal connection is what holds the team together. Okay. So Tadeus is the first person that comes up. I'll go to scripts, get an idea, something I can send to him. Okay. Again, you've got the doing great. I'm proud of you. Hey, Tadeus, I noticed today in the back office, you got your first customer. Congratulations. Simple, right? Just stay in touch. Once you get your whole team using Teamzy, sorry, I'm talking a lot here. You guys aren't talking at all. I'm doing all the talking. Once you get your whole team using Teamzy, then you can send messages like, hey, today, so you came up on, you're at the top of my Teamzy list today. How's your day going? What's up? Send me an update. And it's kind of like, it becomes kind of a tongue in cheek, but it does keep you in touch and it's cool. And I get those all the time. It's funny because yesterday I messaged a couple of top leaders that are good friends of mine, just checking in, very similar to what I'm teaching you. And the response I got was, oh man, you're inspiring me to go use my Teamzy. Great. That'd be a good thing, wouldn't it? So we're going to, whatever the goal is, we're going to go down the distributors list, send the messages to them, staying in touch with them. Okay. Now, again, like I said in the beginning, if you're new and you don't have a team yet, that's fine. You just make this your goal for distributors 0 for now. And you add that, whatever the number is that is suggested by Teamzy, you add it to your prospects number for the day. Okay. All right. So the first half of the power hour is just sending out these messages, prospects, customers, distributors, boom, 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 send, 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 and then you're done. Okay. Even if your goal is as high as 150,000, you should be done with that in less than 30 minutes. Does that make sense? That's 19 messages, less than 30 minutes. You should be able to do that. If it's taking you more than that, you're overthinking it. Stop overthinking. Just send those messages. They work amazing. Okay. 100,000 people using Teamzy. Haven't had anybody complain yet about those scripts not working. Okay. In fact, the opposite. People send me testimonials all the time about how they use, I can't believe that simple script works so great. It's just really simple. It just lights people up. Okay. The second half of your power hour then, after you've done these first 3 lists, is to work your follow-ups list. Okay. You're going to come in and work your follow-ups list. Now, you notice that I don't have anybody on my follow-ups list. The follow-ups in Teamzy are not automatically put in. You have to put people there. Right? So these lists, prospects, customers, distributors, these cycle automatically through the whole list. Nobody falls through the cracks. Everybody comes back based on their number rank in 30, 60, 90, 120 days. The follow-ups, you have to put people there. So let me show you how to do it. Okay, it's really simple. We'll give you a hypothetical situation. I messaged my friend Jay, just, hey, I hope you're having a great day. She responds, thanks, Eric. It's great to hear from you. Perfect. Now she has responded. Whoa. She's actually responded to me, right? And so now I have a chance to try to strike up a conversation. So I'm going to, try to get a conversation going. Well, Jace, how have you been? It's been forever. Tell me what's going on in your life. Send me an update. She's like, oh my gosh, it has been forever. Well, I'm doing this and doing that. And just ask some questions. Just try to really get them to open up and tell you what's going on in their life, especially if you haven't been in touch in a while. Okay. Especially if you haven't been in touch in a while. You want to reestablish connection and really find out where they are in their life. Right. And so this is just totally normal. It's like if I ran into you in the grocery store and we hadn't seen each other in 3 years, this is what I'm going to do. Tell me what's going on. Oh my gosh, how have you been? Right. And so that's what I want you guys to kind of get in that mindset. And what you want to do when you're listening to when they're telling you what's going on in their life and you're asking questions, really look for a way to help. Look for some way you can help them. It might be with your business, it might be unrelated to your business, but you might immediately find a way to help. Right? I just want you to kind of get in that mindset. My goal is not to try to just suddenly plot my business on them and sell them, but how can I invest in this relationship? I want you guys to think of these relationships as long-term investments. Okay. So as you're having this conversation, she gives you an update. What would I do naturally? I would give her my update. Isn't that what you guys would do? Is that what you do naturally? Give them your update, right? So she told me about her family and her dog and her kids and her job. And now I'm going to give her my update, tell her what we've been up to. Oh my gosh, we've been doing this, we're doing that. And I'm going to fold my business into my update, and it's totally natural. Okay. I don't know if I told you, Jay, but, I left my corporate job 5 years ago and I started my own business from home. It's been amazing. You did? Yeah. Yeah, I actually, and I don't know what business. Throw up your business in the chat, you guys. Throw up what business you represent, what company you represent. And if there's one I'm really familiar with, I'll use it as my example. Who's going to be first? Throw it up in there. I'm going to give you some dialogue. Okay. Sarai, I don't know Spotan. So I'm going to do Juice Plus. Okay. Cheryl, you win. I started my own business from home about 5 years ago. It's been amazing. I basically help people lose weight and get healthy, and it's been incredibly rewarding. Especially in times like this where everybody's so afraid of being sick, and they're worrying. I feel so good about the fact that my business helps build immunity, helps people strengthen their health and vitality in their life. It's been incredibly rewarding. Wow, that's really cool. I'm telling you this, when you tell people what you do and why you're passionate about it. Okay. So the part I didn't tell was, what happened was I lost about 60 pounds myself, regained my health. It was like life-changing. And I felt like I should pay this forward. And then I got into it, turned into a great little business. So tell people what you do and why you're passionate about it. Okay. And they're going to go, wow, that's great. Rox runs a family-run tax practice. Cool. I love saving people money on taxes. I'm passionate about it. Oh my gosh, nobody should pay too much in taxes. We pay enough taxes. And so I found most people don't know what they're doing, and they end up overpaying on their taxes. So I'm on a mission to help as many families as I can to save as much on their taxes as possible, right? And however you're passionate about it, you just tell people what you do and why you're passionate about it. But here's where I want you guys to understand: when I share my business this way, it's not like, oh my gosh, another one of these people that's trying to shove something down my throat. No, this is just what I do and why I'm passionate about it. That's cool. Good for you, Eric. I'm proud of you, right? That's how they're going to feel. And then you just ask them, hey, if they're enthusiastic, oh, I think that's so cool. If they're enthusiastic, you just say, hey, would you like more information about what I'm doing? Okay. Would you like to learn more? I use the Juice Plus example. Like, would you like to learn more about the products that I represent that really help people build their immune systems? I'd be happy to get you more info. Would you like to learn more about starting your own business? It's a really great time to have your own home business, especially because we're coming into a period of time where we may all have to stay in our homes for a couple weeks, right? Well, boy, I'm glad I have a home-based business. How about you? It's tax season. Do you have anybody representing you? Do you guys see how this works? So it's just, you've created this, you've had a normal conversation, you've told them what you do and why you're passionate about it. And if there's some interest, ask them if they're interested in learning more. That's it. And if they say yes, great. This is where we take them to the next place. And you guys probably had other trainers teach you about taking them to the next level. But what I'm going to do now is, if Jay says, yeah, I'd like to learn more, I'm going to now invite her to some sort of opportunity where I can share the business or share my products with her, right? And so let's just, for example, I'm just going to give you an example. Let's say we're chatting back and forth on Facebook Messenger, and she says, yeah, I would like to learn more. I said, great. Are you available? Are you able to jump on a quick FaceTime right now? Can you FaceTime for 5 minutes so we can talk a little bit more about it? No, you can't do it right now. No worries. Send me, are there a couple times tomorrow that you might have open where we can schedule a chat, and we'll just, we'll talk a little bit more, and I'll see if I want to hear your goals and see if it's something that I can help you with. And so she says, oh yeah, tomorrow at 2. Great. Perfect. So I got you in my calendar. Boom. I'm going to FaceTime you tomorrow at 2. Perfect. Are you guys with me? So let's say we've now got this time set up where I'm going to FaceTime her at 2 tomorrow. Great. Here's what happens. Tomorrow at 2, we FaceTime. We're having a great conversation, talking about the business, kind of just like as if I was at a coffee shop with her, right? Laying it out, finding out what she needs, just having good conversation. And so how I'm going to do that in Teamzy, let me show you. So first off, tomorrow when I go to call Jay, she's not on my dashboard anymore, right? So I have to look her up. She's in the lookup bar. So I'm going to look her up. There she is. When I get to her record, I'll open the connect box right here, just as if we were on the dashboard. Now, let's say we're doing FaceTime, so that's a video chat. Great. And I'm going to put in here all of my notes from our chat, right? I'm taking notes. I'm keeping track of what we're talking about. And then I want to, as soon as I'm done, I'm going to log them all in Teamzy. Now, see where it says share on the bottom left? I'm going to click on that because on this opportunity, I didn't just connect. I also shared, let's say, the business opportunity. So I'm going to go down to the business opportunity and toggle it. Okay. So now this is going to log it as a share in Teamzy. Now notice that when I turned on that share, guess what happened right here? The follow-up activated. See that little yellow calendar icon? That's my follow-up. Now it's defaulted to 2 days, but you can set it for tomorrow or any day in the future, right? So I usually would follow up the next day, so I'm going to set it for tomorrow, okay? And when I'm talking to people, there's a little pro tip for you guys. When you're talking to people, tell them exactly when you follow up. Hey, I'll follow up with you tomorrow and see if you have any questions, okay? And then set it for tomorrow, you log it. Now, what this did was it actually set the follow-up on her record. Let me go to the dashboard and show you how this looks. So you can see I've got one share logged, okay? And when I go to my follow-ups list, there's Jay, and she's due tomorrow. Okay, so now I don't have to even think about this. I just, when I invite her to something and then I log a share, it automatically opens up that follow-up list. I put her on my follow-ups list. I can't screw this up, okay? So tomorrow, when I go to do my power hour, I'll do my connects to my prospects, to my customers, to my distributors, just as I showed you. And then I'll go see who I have due on the follow-ups list. When I get there, I'm going to see Jay's due. So how do I do a follow-up? Super easy. It's just like sending a connect. Let me show you. First, go to scripts. Eric, do you have follow-up scripts in here? Yes, I do. Okay, I've made this so easy. You guys, I put 10 follow-up scripts in here, numbered in order. So look, follow-up number 1, here's how it reads. It says, hi, Jane, just checking in like I promised I would. What questions do you have for me? Okay, this is a very powerful script. Why did I tell you to tell them when you're going to follow up and then do it? Because now you're reminding them that you are fulfilling the promise you made to them. You're showing them what a trustworthy person you are, right? Checking in like I promised I would. Not to bother you, but to fulfill the promise to you that I made to you. Make sense? Okay, so I'm going to copy that script. Then what we'll do is, just like before, you paste it in there, you get the name correct. Okay, put some emojis in there if you want. Great. And then when it's ready, send it to Jay the same way. There she is. Send her this follow-up message. Super easy. Just checking in like I promised I would. What question do you have for me? Send. Boom. Message sent. Now let me show you. Pay attention. This part's important. When I log this in Teamzy, before I hit log connect, I want to set a new follow-up. So let's say I'll follow up now in 2 days. Always set a new follow-up before you log it, or else they just go back into the flow. You want them to stay on your follow-ups list. Now I'm going to leave a note for myself to remind myself what I'm doing next time. Next time is going to be follow-up number 2. Okay, so you can leave these little follow-up notes for yourself. So log. Okay, maybe the note was her dog is sick. Check in to see how the dog's feeling. Right? It could be anything. But whatever note you want to remind yourself of when you follow up, when she comes up again in a couple days, you put that in there. Okay, great. So, like for example, a common one that I used to get was follow up with me on Friday after I get paid. Great. So I would put follow up Friday, and I would put payday, and that would remind me that they had the intention of buying that day, right? So then I'd be like, hey, happy payday. Following up as asked. Here's the link, right? You got it? You guys with me? Okay. So look. So that is how the follow-ups work. It's so incredibly easy. Now, this is the important piece, and this is the part where people mess up the business so bad. Okay, people mess up the business so bad this way. Okay. They don't follow up enough. They just don't follow up enough. Okay. People just don't follow up enough. So here's what I want you guys to understand. 80% of all sales happen between the 7th and 10th follow up. Okay. 80% of all sales happen between the 7th and 10th follow up. So how many of you guys follow up 10 times typically? Right? How many of you are worried about being the most annoying person on the planet if that was you following up 10 times? It's normal. Okay. Most people agree with that. But here's what I want you guys to know. First off, 80% of people aren't going to purchase. They're just not. They need to be followed up 7 to 10 times. 80%. So if you're so worried about being annoying that you're not following up enough, you're giving up on 80% of your opportunity. Now, I just want you to change your thinking on this a little bit. How many of you are, and you've got a little button, you can raise your hand if you want. How many of you are in this business because you honestly, in your heart, want to help people? Like you truly believe you can help people. Okay, great. You're my people. You guys are my people. I want you to understand something. If like your products are great, right? But they don't matter. If they don't purchase them, the product that you represent does not matter to that person. Okay. You cannot help them until they make that first purchase, correct? So, and 80% of them will not do that unless you followed up more. So I want you guys to understand this. The one thing that you have, the one thing available to you to actually help people is following up. Okay. This is why I believe following up is an act of love. Okay. Following up is an act of love. Write that down, make it your mantra. Following up is an act of love. This is how we help people. Now, don't worry. I'm going to teach you really quick. I have like 2 minutes to do it, but I'm going to do it. I'll teach you how to follow up and not be annoying. People will love you for it. They will thank you for it. They will tell their friends how amazing you are if you follow up the way I'm going to teach you right now. Now, first off, get in, start using Teamzy, use my follow-up scripts. They already follow the principles I'm going to teach you right now, but I'm going to teach you these principles. Teach them to your team. Spread it. Okay. The more people following up this way, the less people are going to be annoyed on the planet. Okay. Principle number 1 when following up, don't ask somebody to do anything. Don't ask them to do anything. Okay. Don't ask them to call you. They don't need to text you. They don't need to even respond. Honestly, they don't even need to open your message. And I'll explain that in a second. They don't need to do anything. You don't put any requirements on them. The second principle for following up and not being annoying is this. They need to be able to read your entire follow-up message without opening it. Okay, so they need to be able to read it without opening it. So there's a couple things you need to do. One, can't be a voice message, can't be a video message, right? For the love of everything that's holy in the world, don't call people randomly on their phone and leave them a voicemail. Everybody hates that. Okay. They have to be able to read it, which means it has to be written. Text message, Facebook message, direct message on Instagram. It has to be something they can read. And it has to be short enough they can read the whole thing without opening it. So in other words, just on that little bit of room that the talk bubble gives you on the phone, on the notification. Most people won't open your messages, but if you follow those principles, they will always read them. They will always read them. Now, understand why people aren't opening your message. It's not because they're not interested, not because they don't like you. It's not because they're broke. It's not because the economy. It's not because of coronavirus. It's not because of whatever you think it might be. They're not opening the message because in this exact moment, they're not prepared to respond for whatever reason. They're making dinner, they're driving their car, their dog's throwing up on the baby. I don't know, whatever's happening in their life, they're not able to respond at this moment. So they're not even going to open it. Why? Because they look like a big jerk. If they open the message, you get a read receipt and they don't respond. So instead, most people opt to not open the message and save it for later, which they might not remember to get to. So just assume that most of your messages will not be read. But if you follow my principles, don't ask anything of them so that you're not annoying them. Keep it short and sweet so they can read it without opening it. They'll always get your messages. And this will keep you top of mind. It will keep the excitement of your conversation top of mind, okay? 20% of the people you talk to will respond to you in the first 3 days and complete their purchase. The other 80% will take much longer, 7 to 10 times. In fact, those other 80% may not even respond for 6, 7, 8 messages, not even one response. And you guys have had these people, you're like, I don't understand. They were so interested. And now that's just crickets, nothing, no response. But if you stick with it, you just keep them in Teamzy, and every time they come up, maybe every week or every 2 weeks, or maybe it's every month that you're messaging these people who've been on here a long time. What will happen is you'll get a response eventually that will be like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry I haven't responded to you. Thank you so much for staying in touch. Okay. And it sets you apart because most people will give up on them. And by the way, when you stop following up because you're afraid you're being annoying or they're not responding to you, you are sending a clear message to them that says, I don't care about you. Okay. So don't do that. Just keep them on your list. So look, it's super easy, you guys. Teamzy makes this so incredibly easy. You guys can start putting your questions in because we're going to take questions in a second. Your power hour, you come in every day, you connect with prospects. Just send messages, customers, distributors. Okay. Send off those messages. Use my scripts. It's great. Do it based on your daily goal for your income. Okay. As you're having conversations, and what I might recommend you do is maybe set aside a couple of short blocks of time throughout your day where you can answer messages and do the back and forth. Okay. So I had a full-time job. So I sent my power hour messages in the morning, and then I had a part of my lunch break and part of my evening set aside to do messaging. Okay. And then as you're having great conversations and finding interest and sharing, now you've got people on your follow-ups list. Okay. So every day your goal is to get a couple of people on the follow-ups list. My goal was to share 3 times a day. So if I did that, if I was consistent with my 3 a day, by Friday, I could have 15 people on my follow-ups list. Okay. And now they're in the follow-up cycle. The second half of my power hour is just going down my list. Whoever's due today, I'm sending them the next follow-up message. It only takes like 3 seconds. I don't want you to spend a lot of time, oh my gosh, thinking about each person that you're following up with. Just send them the next message. Trust the system. Every single month, if you're doing this consistently, you'll be filling that follow-ups list. Every single month, people will come off that follow-ups list and convert. That's how you get numbers like 21 new customers and 9 new recruits every 90 days. Does this make sense? Cool. All right, I'll show you one last thing and then we'll do Q&A. Then I'll bless you and send you guys on the way if you don't have any questions. So let's say we've been messaging Jay for a while. She finally purchases and joins the team, the whole deal. How do I do that in Teamzy? Let me just show you. So again, I'm going to look her up on her lookup to go to her record. First thing I'll do is click on the sale button and just log a sale. And usually there's only a couple options here. Let's say that she bought a distributor kit, right? So I'm going to save that. I'm going to tag what product she has. You can see I tagged a few different examples. I'm going to tag her product. I know I had a Juice Plus person, so let's say she got a quad. Okay, great, whatever. Whatever the product is, you just put a tag so you know what product it was. And then what I do is right here where it says member type, she's a prospect, I'm going to change it. So if she bought a retail thing, I'll just click on customer so that she's now a customer in the system. In this case, she bought a distributor kit, so I'm going to click on distributor, personally sponsored. Okay. And that now has moved her to the correct list. And also by doing it that way, Teamzy's now logged, hey, that all that activity with Jay, it turned into a sale and a recruit. And it tracks it for you. Isn't that cool? All right. Let's see what questions you guys have real quick. I've got one in here. Roxanne says, I work full-time on taxes, but I'm trying to grow my Juice Plus business. I don't have time to do my power hour till late at night, like 9:30, 10:30. Should I just draft the messages and send, say, the text in the morning, or is it better to use Facebook or email? Okay. Good question. All right, Roxanne, I get this question a lot. And if you're texting people, usually I wouldn't text them during the time when people are asleep. But if you're going to send them, for example, a Facebook message, I would send it anytime. I would send it anytime. Most people don't have that set up as a a beep that wakes them up. So I would do I did my power hours at 4 a.m. I would get up at 4 a.m., send out my messages. Then people would have them when they woke up and they would message me. And then, in my lunch hour, I would start the responding, if that makes sense. So if you're at 9:30, 10:30, and that's when you have time to work on it, send Facebook messages. It's actually a really good time because a lot of people are sitting on their phone right then, right? So you might actually get a lot of people. I will say that in the 2 years that I, used Teamzy daily before Teamzy just took off and I had to go full time with Teamzy. Twice maybe someone said, why in the world did you message me at 4 a.m.? And with those 2 times, I just told them, oh, I just figured you were sleeping and you would respond when you got up. I was just up this morning. And they were like, oh, okay, great. So here's what's going on with my life, blah, 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 blah. Make sense? Okay. Hopefully that helps. Great. Any other questions in there, you guys? Oh, some of you are putting them in the chat. Let me look over there. Okay, hold on. Raquel says, most of my connects are people I don't know. Do you acknowledge that and still share what it is you do? Okay, so good question. First thing you need to do is start with the people you know. You need to start there first, okay? But eventually you will run through that list and then you'll be in your like casual contacts. Now, here's the thing, Raquel. If you are active on social media and you guys are friends or connections on social media, then they should have some knowledge of you, right? You should come across very few people that are like, who the heck are you, Raquel? Now, if that is happening, then that's telling you that you're not um, sharing enough on social media. Now, but definitely just reach out to the, you come across somebody, there's a 3-star, you barely know them, they're a Facebook friend or whatever. Send them one of those connect messages. Hope you're having a great day. And if they do respond with like, do I know you? Do we know each other? Say, I was wondering the same thing, Raquel. The thing is, we're Facebook friends, so I figured I'd say, hey. So then get to know them. So now you're just trying to get to know somebody. Does that make sense? It's much harder to get to know new people, though, as it is to build on relationships where you already have some sort of connection. She says, I tend to send voice messages. People hear my voice and hopefully feel they know me a little better, but we'll try to change over to Facebook message. Is there a script for unknown connects? Okay. So there's nothing wrong with voice messages in general. Okay. So I don't want you guys to hear from me like Eric doesn't ever want you to send voice messages. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying when you for sure want somebody to read your message and not be annoying, don't send a voice message. See, the thing about a voice message is that I'm very, like, I know this is true for a lot of people. The voice message comes in and I may not be able to listen to it right now. Right? So I can't know what it says until I have a chance to quietly find out what it says. So if I'm driving my car, I can't hear it. If I'm with my kids, I can't hear it, right? The times when you're scrolling your phone inappropriately, which is all the time, you won't be able to listen to a message. But if you could read it, you'd be able to read it, if that makes sense. So there are times when a voice message is great, but typically it will stop the conversation. Somebody could be messaging you, but when you send them a voice message, it could stop the conversation because they're not sure if they have a minute to listen to it or whatever, just so you guys know. Okay. So Rye says, Canadian here. Does Teamzy have any restrictions for me? Not at all. We have tons of people in Canada. You're good to go. Okay, you're good to go. The only thing you need to know, Cheryl, is that since we're American, Teamzy is in US dollars. So you will see a slight fluctuation on your monthly fee based on whatever the floating currency rate is. Okay, last question here we're going to take here. Sarai says, I need to connect with more businesses, especially retail stores, to offer my services. Do you recommend I search owners and randomly connect on Facebook? Okay, that's a good question, Sarai. And I wish I had more time to unpack this. What I recommend you do is I recommend you start getting introduced to businesses. Okay, because when you randomly message people, your response rate, your return rate on that is going to be close to zero. I mean, that is a brutal rejection-filled way to build your business. What I would do is start reaching out to all the people who know and trust you already and asking them, do you know any business owners who might need help with their taxes? Could you introduce me to people like that? Okay. And just lead them through it. The people who trust you, lead them through it. Would you mind doing an introduction, on a Facebook chat? Just saying, hey, this is my friend Sarai. She's an amazing tax accountant. I don't know if you have need for those services, but I thought I would introduce you just in case. Okay. And you get people to just say that just real quick. And if it's somebody who trusts you, they'll have no problem doing it. And that introduces you to people. And then now they have to have a conversation with you because somebody they know has introduced you. And they also will trust you a little because somebody they know trusts you. Does this make sense? So I have to tell you, I mean, perfect example. I went to a conference last year, and the person who invited me to the conference said, have dinner with us, the first night of the conference is great. So I met them at a restaurant, and they said, this is our friend who's a tax whiz. And they sat me next to her, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. And I remember her asking me, do you have an accountant that does your corporate taxes? I said, yes, I do. And then as we started talking, she was so passionate about saving people on money on taxes. I was like, are you taking clients? Guess what? She's doing my taxes this year. So anyways, hopefully that helps you guys. Look, here's the thing about Teamzy. Some of you guys are in direct sales. Some of you are doing other small businesses. It does not matter. If you are serving human beings with a product and your heart is to help people, this system works unbelievably. It's about building connections, building relationships, building trust, right? And being present when people need help with a specific solution to a problem. You do it consistently, you work this Teamzy system, you'll have consistent growth in your business. This is a recession proof, coronavirus proof business model. Okay. Get in there, get in your 30-day free trial, start connecting with people, start building those relationships, start creating some results. Now, let me give you a couple action steps before I bless you guys and send you on your way. Here are your action steps. Okay. Make sure you've got your 30-day free trial set up. If you haven't, do that. If you're already in your free trial, you can click subscribe now in the top left and get your subscription started at any point during your free time. I recommend you do it sooner rather than later. You still won't get billed for 30 days, but you'll be set so that after the 30 days, it doesn't expire or anything. You can keep going. Make sense? Okay. We've built Teamzy on a simple model that if you get one sale, it's enough to pay for your month of Teamzy. So it's minuscule. It's $29.99 a month for Teamzy, less than $1 a day to have it all laid out, have your business laid out for you each day. I also recommend you get a 30-day success partner to do the trial with you. Just pick somebody. They don't have to be your success partner for life, but say, hey, would you like to do this with me? Let's hold each other accountable and encourage each other. And what you do is each day when you finish your Teamzy, you take a snapshot, like a screenshot of the dashboard and message it over to your partner. Agree to do that for each other for 30 days. You'll get so much done with the accountability. Whereas if you don't have the accountability, let's be honest, you'll sign up for a free trial. Some of you are already done this and you're now watching this going, dang it, I wish I hadn't done that. And you logged in twice over 30 days and kind of wasted it. So get a success partner or two and rock this, right? Have the best month of your business ever. And finally, one more action step, and then I'm going to say goodnight. 5-day challenge. I challenge you to use Teamzy 5 days in a row. Okay. Just use Teamzy 5 days in a row. And over that time, connect with 100 people, 20 a day average. If you do that, it will blow your mind. It'll be unbelievable what kind of results you'll see happen, what kind of momentum you'll create. And so I always challenge people to the 5-day challenge because I know that you tell yourself stories about why it's not working or why there's no momentum or whatever. That blows all the stories to smithereens because as soon as you connect with 100 people in 5 days, your phone's blowing up. And you're like, oh my gosh. Okay. Are you guys with me? Are you guys up for that? Okay. Thank you all for spending some time with me. I hope this was really helpful. Do me a favor, get the most out of your free trial and tell your team about Teamzy. We'd like to help them too. Okay. Thank you guys for being here tonight. God bless you. Have a great night. Talk to you soon.